What is up, YouTube? That's here. Merry Christmas. We are back playing more Pokemon VGC 2023. We're doing another team fixing video. And today we're taking a look at another team that was submitted on Patreon. It's I'm going to call it a mono ice team. It's more like a mono weak to rock team. This team you can see on the official submission post is right here. It's team submission for Team Fix Snow Team with Glaceon. And say Pokemon this team: Glaceon, Abomasnow, Baxcalibur, Titan, Frostlass, Houndoom. This team was submitted by Lyric, and it says this is a snow team based on usage of Teras to avoid super effective damage and getting nice synergies. The snow is set by Abomasnow, and all the Pokemon on the team get something from it except Houndoom. I decided to add Houndoom because he likes some of the Pokemon's most frequent weaknesses. You know, things like, Ghost, Psychic, Bug, there's a lot of them. And Fire, right? Which I don't think was left in here. The main strategy is Frostlass as speed control as an Aurora Veil setter and use the other Pokemon to do damage. Frostlass Houndoom is a solid lead against things like Steel types. Glaceon's made to ultra slow to counter Trick Room, and Titan uses the complete opposite Slush Rush, which the right amount of speed to outspeed Dragapult. I will say this team, it has the right idea. This team has a lot of heart. This team has a lot of heart. I like that they EV trained their Titan to outspeed Dragapult with Slush Rush. I like that they thought proactively with a lot of these things. But I'm sure some of you guys can tell. That this team has a lot of weaknesses. So I will say, the question of the day is, what's the best gift you've been given and the best gift you've given back in return? The best gift I'm going to be able to give to you guys is the fixing of this team, because this team has a lot of weaknesses. I swear, if we can fix this team and actually make it usable, this will be a Christmas Day miracle. So we're going to be trying to rein in some of the weaknesses. Big weaknesses to fire, big weaknesses to fighting, big weaknesses to rock and steel. If you check out the team's EVs here right now, they also need a lot of work. So 2v2 squads for a lot of the Mons. And I think some of these Mons will stay, but I really have some cool ideas to do after playing some games. We will be playing some games with this team. I would love to win some games. I think Blizzard is a really, really cool mechanic. I think Hail is a cool mechanic. And I think this team can win if we rein back in some of the, snow energy and replace it with some better type coverage. So without further ado, we're just going to get into some games. Hopefully you guys are having a great Christmas so far, and hopefully you guys like this series. If you guys like this series and there's a team you want to submit for yourself, you can still submit a team. It's up on Patreon. There's a link in the description. And without further ado, let's hop into some games and see if we can win some. Here we go. Okay, that team has a lot of good stuff, but a lot of weaknesses to ice, and no other way to change the weather. So we do have shots in this matchup. I think this is a great matchup to go with. I think you have to go Frostlass because it's the only thing that outspeeds things like Garchomp and Hydreigon. So Frostlass is great. We're a little bit pinned by the... I mean, we could just open up Abomasnow. We could open up Abomasnow and set Titan as well. They don't have any Intimidators, and that way we can try and get rid of the Kilowatt. But then we really, really struggle with Gholdengo. So then we would have to bring in something like Houndoom, which I don't even think this Houndoom outspeeds Gholdengo realistically, and Frostlass in the back. It's probably our best bet. It'd be nice to be able to bring Glaceon here, but I mean, I can't make Christmas Day miracle happen in every single game. So we'll see what happens. Glaceon's really cool. I think if I were to pick probably my favorite Hail Mon on this team, I like the Titan a lot, but I think Glaceon's very underrated. It gets like a 130 base special attack, which is really, really nice. It's just unfortunately not the right bring here. Like, they have Gholdengo, we can't do it. So we have to get that Kilowatt off the board. If they get up a Tailwind, game's over. So we're gonna be going Blizzard plus Icicle Spinner or Ice Spinner into it. So big Blizzard. If they Tera Steel, they Tera Steel, I can't do anything about it. I almost want to say weird Fairy Tera for some reason. Why? Oh, we have Player F. Okay, that's kind of cool. We're not gonna do that, but this would be a situation where you might want to think about double dipping the Icicle Spinner and being Fire or Ice Tera. Is that a Sash? Never lucky, bro. So they're gonna get up Tailwind, which basically loses the game, I think. There's the Tailwind. I mean, can't do anything about it, The only good thing I see here is that they're gonna think they have big control of the board. We are gonna be able to get a KO on the Kilowatt here, and you see the vested Titan's very, very bulky versus Sylveon. We can Ice Shard out versus things like Garchomp. So that's not, we haven't lost yet, but it's not looking good for our hero here. I guess we also have the Fairy Tera. We might have to go Fairy Tera. Yeah, let's see what they want to do. Hydreigon might be a little bit dicey to deal with here. There's the Hydreigon. Like, the question with this guy is he going Steel? Is he going Fire? Which one is he doing? We're just going to Protect. We kind of have to wait out this Tailwind. This is where, like, a Flash Fire on Houndoom would be really, really good, but we're unnerved. So, a little bit never lucky. I think I'm just going to still pivot in. See, like, that Hyper Voice just melts us. It literally just melts us to death. I gotta get that Sylveon off the board. Yeah, I gotta get Sylveon off the board. I hope this doesn't miss. It's just a little bit stronger. We need all the damage we get. We need to do this plus Ice Shard to get that Sylveon. Otherwise, we're just going to be taken to the bank by Hyper Voices for the rest of the game in that Tailwind. Fairy Tera Titan. What even? Do I hope they Draco me. They're probably going to focus energy, right? We're protecting here, obviously. We just don't want to get messed up. They didn't actually Tera the Hydreigon. That is nuts. Flamethrower in that slot. Cool. Yeah, we eat that. No birds. Play rough. Misses. Okay. It's probably going to lose us the game. I had to hit that. Like, we see how much damage we're taking now? Like, oh my god. That's just too much damage. That's game. If we would have hit that, we probably could have won. Just gonna throw this out. Had to do it. We had to hit that play rough. They only have like one more turn of Tailwind left, but we just don't have that many defensive options. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll still play it out. They haven't Terra'd yet. Again, this is where if we had any at all Flash Fire on Houndoom, that'd be great. Like, I have no idea why the Houndoom's unnerved on this team. We might have to Snow Cloak this one. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Might have to Snow Cloak it up. Oh, I can't believe that didn't hit on the Sylveon. That's like the worst thing ever. Last turn Tailwind, right? So I guess we just double Protect, but it's not looking good. Oh, we don't even have Protect, bro. Okay. We have to dodge a Flamethrower or a Hyper Voice then. We have to dodge both, actually. I wonder if they'll go after the Houndoom with like a Draco, thinking like maybe they have Goldingo in the back. They're tearing now. They should have done this like a while ago, I think. Tera Water? Yeah, good Tera. So they're going after that slot into the Houndoom. If we dodge the Flamethrower into the Hydreigon slot, like, we're doing alright. We have Snow Cloak, I believe. Yeah, we have Snow Cloak. Christmas Day Miracle? Dark Pulse never lucky, bro. I mean, oh, we got Sash. Oh, we have Sash, duh. We're fine. I forgot. For some reason, I thought we had Sash on Abomasnow. It's Icy Rock. So Blizzard hits. A freeze would be nice. Because I don't think you're Hyper Voicing. Tera Blast in the Houndoom, right? Okay, cool. Hey, we got shots. Blizzard plus Dark Pulse probably takes out that Sylveon. You have to, oh shoot, we have to dodge a Quick Attack. We have to dodge a Quick Attack. They're going to Quick Attack into the Frostlass, and it's boosted by Pixelate. This is where if we had Protect, I mean, I would have protected last turn too, you know, but it is what it is. We have to dodge it. Dodge it! Come on, Frostlass. Come on. For Christmas! Do it for Christmas! Oh, they didn't even do it! Dude, I think we might be able to... We can at least get, like, a flinch with Dark Pulse, right? Let's see, this Houndoom's modest, right? So, like, maybe we just get the KO, dude. That'd be sick. Come on, Houndoom! Do it for me! Nope. Flinch it! We lose. Miss? Oh! Oh, dude, we're still playing Pokemon out here! Alright, they got the Quick Attack, though. They got Quick Attacks for days. Dude, what is this game, man? What is this game? Christmas Day Miracles happening left and right. Garchomp. That's Blizzard. So if you miss the Quick Attack into our Frostlass, I win. If you miss the Quick Attack into Frostlass with this Sylveon, thanks to my Snow Cloak, I win the game. Let's go. No! Oh, man. Come on. Snow Cloak. Never lucky, bro. Yeah, because Blizzard would have took out the Garchomp. It's Orb 2. It's not even, like, Scarfed, so... Dude, we had that one! Alright, T-Tar and Murkrow. So this team's amazing. They have, like, multiple forms of Dynamic Speed Control in Murkrow and Grim. They have the T-Tar for the anti-weather. They have the potential Final Gambit Annihilate if they want to use it. Like, I don't see any way at all that this team can ever win against this. There's absolutely not a single thing this team can do versus that. Yeah, I'm just not. If there is, I'm not seeing it. I think we have to try and, like, Dragon Dance out, but, like, that won't even work, man. We outspeed the T-Tar too, so if I lead Abomasnow and you lead T-Tar, I outspeed you and you actually get your stand up first. So I actually can't even lead Abomasnow. Is that my lead? That's dirty. It has to be these two in the back. Baxcalibur's Tera type is... I think it's Dragon. Yeah, so we Tera Dragon on the backs. Houndoom Tera's to Fire. Frostlass Tera's Ghost. Glaceon Tera's Electric. And I don't think we really need, like... That's the thing, is like, what do you Tera Electric to hit? Like, water types, you have Freeze Dry. Like, flying types, you can just hit it with Blizzard, you know? So this is the lead we thought we were going to see. This is literally putting ourselves in the best possible chance shot to win the game. They're going to go for Tailwind. And they're going to go for Make It Rain. So we're just going to pop a Protect here. And then we're just going to go for... Dark Pulse would be nice. Do we need to double? I don't want to Tera right now. I guess I'll just do Dark Pulse into this. Like, Heat Wave's fine. You know what? I'll Heat Wave. If we hit, we're gonna lose. I guess we could double dip the Heat Wave here. It's not worth it. I need to actually save my Tera on the Baxcalibur to be able to trick some other stuff a little bit later on in the game. I want them to over-tunnel the backs. I don't think that they will. I think they're just going to go Tailwind, Make It Rain. There's the Tailwind, Make It Rain. We have to not die to this Make It Rain like this turn on the backs, and then next turn we can Tera it, take it out. And we're going to be trying... Yeah, see, this is cool. Good thing we didn't Tera, right? This is probably Specs Gholdengo then. Ow. Last two Mons in the back are probably like Garchomp and some stuff. Yeah, this is fine. If we lose both the Mons, we lose both the Mons. Yeah, it's fine. I kind of wanted to protect Houndoom, but it is what it is. Cool, I'm happy that I'm not. You can Dazzling him, I can't do anything about it. Like, I can't do anything about it. Like, Houndoom holds, it can go for a second Heat Wave. If we burn the Murkrow, like, Murkrow's off the board forever. And we had to hit both these Heat Waves, too. Awesome. Burn it. If we burn the Murkrow, that's, like, pretty okay. No lucky. Alright, so you bring Frostlass out here. You don't bring out the Abomasnow yet. It sucks that Frostlass can't protect, but it is what it is. Frostlass is that Sash. I wonder why they said Annihilate out. We're going to try and freeze it. Something like this. Houndoom is basically useless. We're going to try and use it as a pivot, just later on in the matchup. We got to get rid of their Tailwind turns. We kind of need to freeze the Annihilate. We don't even want to Shadow Ball it. It wouldn't get the KO anyways. So we're trying to also use Snow Cloak to the best of our abilities. Foul Play into that slot. That's totally fine. Rage Fist, never lucky. And again, they're still really, really fast. We are going to be able to take the Murkrow out and then hopefully play a little bit defensive. There's no way this team would ever make like Aurora Veil work, in my opinion. Just too many weaknesses. So Murkrow goes down. Annihilate takes some damage. Is that lefties? Cool. So like we can actually like almost do something with Houndoom versus that guy. Almost. Abomasnow is probably faster outside of Tailwind. There's the T-Tar, so we're going to be pivoting, foddering the Houndoom. And this is where like a Destiny Bomb might not be terrible. I'm not going to lie. Like if we had it. Last turn of their Tailwind. What if I were to go fodder Houndoom, protect Abomasnow, and then just have to raw Blizzard things? that's our only out. I think we have to go for that. So we fought her here. Just so we need to protect the Frostlass. And we just protect. Oh, we're gonna have to go for blind blizzards, but we gotta get freezes. That's the only out that we have. So do it for Christmas. So Houndoom's gone. Hopefully they're not using like Dragon Dance this turn or anything. Tera, cool. We're gonna see their Tera. Is it fire? It's probably fire, right? It's usually always fire. Fighting. Cool. It means they take good damage from Blizzard now. Well, I mean, they already took good damage, but they take neutral damage as we had planned. I wonder what the T-Tar's up to. It's probably just rock sliding. Like, rock slide can miss. Like, we still have shots. We can get freezes. You can miss every rock slide with that T-Tar. Dear Santa, this year all I want is to get 2 freezes with 1 blizzard from a Frostlass. Destiny Bond here would be so pog. It would have been so good, man. Icy Wind's not going to do anything. It has to be Blizzard. Like, we have to just Blizzard out. Blind Blizzards, bros. Blizzard being rogue. No, at least they're PP maxed. And you still Blizzard. You gotta go double. We outspeed with both the Bomb Snow on both, probably. Blizzard hits both. Let's go. Any freezers? Oh my gosh, we froze the T-Tar, bro. And then... No! Okay, so we get no freezes on the Annihilate, which means we probably lose. We still need to freeze the Annihilate. Like, we still have to freeze that thing. Dude, dude, we played to our outs, man. We played to our outs with this team. We got 1 freeze. If we freeze that Annihilate, we can... This is another situation where Giga Drain would be really, really nice on the Abomasnow over Energy Ball, in my opinion, but... I'm not gonna lie, like, if we freeze the Annihilate, we do have shots. Like, the shots exist. I can see them materializing. Why didn't I do this last turn? I mean, I didn't hit anyways, right? Come on, Abomasnow. Do it for me. Do it for Christmas. I have complete faith in you, buddy. Freeze the Annihilate, right? And T-Tar's just ignoring... We're gonna ignore T-Tar forever. Hit the Annihilate. Crit the Annihilate. Freeze the Annihilate. Like, give me that. Let's go. Dude, imagine this was Max Hailstorm. We reset the hail. It'd be so nice, right? Sword and Shield was so dumb. Let's go. Abomasnow. Blizzard. Who do we miss on? Miss on T-Tar. We hit on Annihilate. Let's go. Let's go. Can we get a freeze? Survey says no. Oh. Oh, this team is so hard to work with, guys. You don't even know, man. I could give it so many of these teams to work with, and this is just the hardest freaking thing. They got no speed control. They got like no protects. They got no abilities. They got 6 weaknesses to rock. They got no pivots, no fake outs, no way to really mitigate damage. And we're still getting close. We're still getting close. Oh man. On top of all the bad matchups, we keep getting weather matchups, which make this even harder because like we can't pivot. All of our mons share the same weaknesses. Like, remember the type chart here? So like if I need to switch in anything, I lose a mon every single time I want to regain my weather. I can't switch defensively at all with this team. So this is really, really hard. They also have like a Trick Room core. I think we have to just do kind of the same thing we did in the last one, where we have to just try and freeze things. Abomasnow is a decent lead versus a lot of this stuff. I think Bax Caliber can be used in some situations. We're gonna bring this in case like it's fighting on the on the Floatzel. And then I guess we just bring Glaceon because it has freeze drive for the Gastro, but really, really hard matchup here. Like, again, looking at the team itself, not even the type chart. Electric Tera doesn't do us any favors. Like, we can already hit flying types. We can already hit basically anything we can already hit water types because we have freeze dry. Abomasnow, it has protect. That's cool. I think it should be Giga Drain instead of the energy ball, in my opinion. I don't see a reason to use this guy. Let's go back into the game. They let Slowbro Gastro. Okay. So, I mean, that's reactive. Like, I can actually play the game against that. So that means they have King Gambit in the back. So they're going to go these two plus King Gambit and probably Pelipper. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pelipper switch in here. Do we double, like, does this KO? Like, I'm going to try. I'm just going to try and do this right now. Race to the finish. Let's go, bro. Pivot out Gastro for Pelipper, correct? And you're going to try and get Trick Room up. It's our only shot. King Gambit. Hey, cool. They're trying to really speed up the Trick Room. So they're confident that this Trick Room goes up. And let me think. So our Baxcalibur is faster than our Abomasnow, so that will let them, if they have a Citrus Berry, be able to activate that Citrus Berry. Dragon Baxcalibur. Not the Ice type we need. No longer an Ice type at all. This needs to do like half. It does half. Do you have Citrus though? Energy Ball. Come on, Abomasnow. Come on. Come on. Stop TR. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got shots. We got shots. Christmas Day Miracle. No Trick Room for you, bro. No Trick Room for you, bro. Gastro? Pelipper. Cool. Hey, that totally works. So, they can't set Trick Room. Yes, they can Tailwind, but we have the speed control here. I think you can actually just double into the Pelipper slot. And just get it off the board. You could Sucker Punch me if you want. That's a bit of a weird play. I think they're just going to go with, like, Iron Heads. And we're doing this to stop Tailwind. We're stopping all forms of speed control. This does a lot. Pelipper's a bulky guy, but he's usually Sash. That's why you have to double up into that slot as well. There's the Sash. Abomasnow, if it's timid, I think, does outspeed. Yes, bro. And we don't want to go for Blizzard because that can miss, obviously, and, what is it? Actually, Pelipper has 65. They could have outsped us to their full speed, but, what is it? Yeah, just Energy Ball's enough. And if it stops the Gastron pivot. So, Corto Cleave, they're going to get a KO. Baxcalibur holds, bro. Baxcalibur holds. I can't believe we're going to win this one. We actually just pop a Protect on the Abomasnow so they can't weave in, any sort of weird stuff like that. And we're actually just going to take the L on this Baxcalibur slot. Yeah, just hit this slot. We're just going to protect to go for the protect bait. So the Gastron's going to protect. They're probably going to hit the Abomasnow. Or they're going to Tera defensively to, like, try and basically make us waste our time. We do not have to speed this game up, like, at all. We actually want to pivot out on our Abomasnow next turn. So Ice. Cool. Not Ice. I mean, it's Grass, but Ice types work against that. So, like, if you go after my Abomasnow this turn, or, like, let's see if you're Sucker Punching. Let's just see if you're Sucker Punching. Because, like, I can Icicle Crash that Gastro now. Sucker Punch? Yeah, cool. Absolutely fine. We do not want to get cheesed on our Abomasnow slot here. I think that's the most important thing. Here we go. Baxcalibur MVP for sure. Ice Beam. Blocked. So, I think we have Houndoom in this game still. No, we don't. That's fine. We're going to pivot out Abomasnow for Frostlass, probably. Actually, that's our Sash. This is the... We're actually going to... No, we already Terra'd. I was going to be like, we're actually going to Tera Electric here. I think Glaceon's okay. We're pivoting here. We need to resave our Abomasnow. And we're just going to Freeze Dry into this. Hopefully it KOs it. It's not 4 times effective. It would have been 4 times effective. Remember, Freeze Dry is super effective against ground types. And it's super effective against water types. That's the effective Freeze Dry. It's no longer those types anymore. It's just a grass. So it's still super effective. They might actually outspeed us with the Bisharp, which would be lame, but then when we get to reapply, and we would just go double Blizzard out. Protect Gastro, that's the right play. Let's see who they're going after. Freeze Dry, so we are faster than that Bisharp. Good to know. Good to know. Actually, this could actually go really bad, depending on who they hit. Cool, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Oh, I wanted to die there. I wanted to get KO'd in that situation. That's fine. We're just going to go Sucker Punch, pivot it. Not Sucker Punch. We're going to go Blizzard and pivot in the Abomasnow. Because they're probably Sucker Punching the Glaceon because they know we're faster there. Dude, our Pokemon are thick. That's like the second time living it too. They could also Sucker Punch the Frostlass. We have the Snow Cloak up now and it's hailing. So we're doing pretty good. Abomasnow's the GOAT here, man. Sucker Punch fails. Awesome. We just need to avoid, like, one move in that situation. And I don't think Sucker Punch... Well, Sucker Punch might still KO Frostlass, but, like, let's see what happens here. Any freezers? Never lucky. All right, so that breaks our Sash. And so they could Sucker Punch that same slot. And so this turn, what we're going to do is just go for... I'm going to Aurora Veil. Because I think they're going to Sucker Punch me. And I think we actually Earth Power the Bisharp. We could Blizzard and Earth Power. Would that be a better play? Because they're protecting here, probably. We're going to have to do this eventually anyways. I wish I had Wisp. Sucker Punch fails. Awesome. This is great. Gastron's also not protecting. That's kind of crazy. So Aurora Veil's up now. This is a weird game to Aurora Veil, but we're basically just doing this so we don't get KO'd by Sucker Punch. We're just trying to waste time on the Bisharp. This is good damage. We need to hit it eventually. Like, we could still totally lose. Special Event Shop? I did not want that, bro. Bro, I didn't ask for that. That's this guy's Sash down, not the Ed Sash anyways. Alright, so in this case scenario, I think that because all of this stuff happened, they can totally Sucker Punch out our Frostlass. I can't do anything about that. And we just got to keep on going for that Bisharp. If they're going to Sucker Punching, they can't be hitting our Abomasnow. Blizzard, awesome, we got it. Cool, that's it. The Special Defense Drop's going to, like, make it the Bisharp take too much damage. I think it's a vested set. He's, like, done losing the Sucker Punch, right? And so we take out the Gastro. And then now we can just basically finish off the Bisharp with the Earth Power. Cool. We got it. We got a win. We actually did it. We actually did it. Oh my gosh, man, that was not easy. That was hard. Again, I don't think this team is like the worst, most terrible team. I just think that it needs a lot of work. And, you know, it was themed correctly for Christmas with all the hail stuff. So that's why we're looking at it. But now's going to be the fun part where we actually take a look at fixing the team. You know, we know that this team has like a ton of weaknesses, right? We know this team has like a ton of weaknesses. We have 6 weaknesses to rock, 5 weaknesses to steel, 5 weaknesses to fighting, 4 weaknesses to fire. And like on all these things, there's no real mitigations for this. Like there's nothing to switch in to stop a rock attack. There's one Pokemon to switch in to stop a steel attack. It's Houndoom for all of these, and Houndoom doesn't really take attacks very well. So it's going to be kind of hard to make the fixes that we need, but I do think that like we can keep maybe 2 of these Mons, but you know, we'll get into that in just a sec. This is the perfect time for you guys, if you're still watching this video on Christmas or any other time, to leave a like, leave a comment. We always try and get these videos, these team building videos, to 100 comments and 100 likes. Here's your reminder. You can also let me know in the comments. Let me know if you made it this far. And yeah, let's go into the team building part of the team building guide. Here we go. All right, so those were some pretty fun games. Like I said, I think this team does a lot more things right than it does wrong. I don't want to come off as like I'm too good for this team. I think this team's cool. It's just it really over tunnels on the hail aspect of this team. I really think you should dial it back, make your opponent respect what hail and snow bring to the table, while also, you know, utilizing some other common cores and really flesh the team out and let it play a little bit better in Trick Room, let it play a little bit better against teams that have like dynamic speed control. I think this team is really fun. It uses a lot of really cool stuff. I think Frostlass is a cool mon. I think Glaceon's a cool mon. Titan's obviously really cool. So is Houndoom. But I don't really think you want to use all of them in the same team. If you remember the type chart here, we've taken a look at it 3 or 4 times. It's probably one of the most polarizing type charts I've ever seen. We're realistically going to want to take most of these Pokemon out, and then when you're trying to fix a type chart like this, one thing you can be doing if this is happening to you in your own games, instead of thinking, man, I have a lot of weaknesses to steel, I have a lot of weaknesses to rock, I have a lot of weaknesses to fire and fighting, don't be thinking that you have weaknesses to like those types. Think, I have weaknesses to Pokemon that use types of those moves. So what actual fire moves are you weak against? What actual fighting moves? What actual rock move? For example, let's take Rock Slide. We're weak against Rock Slide. What's the most common rock move in the game? It's probably going to be Rock Slide. What commonly gets Rock Slide? Well, we can go to something like Pikalytics and look at the common Pokemon that normally would carry Rock Slide. Garchomp's one of them. Rock Slide has a 14% usage stats on Garchomp, which is a 26% used mon in the meta right now. Lycanroc is another popular one. Tyranitar is another popular one. You can find that out by using usage stats from Pikalytics, your own usage stats that you can gather, or you can even go on to you know, Pokemon Showdown. You can go down to, like, let's just open up like a brand new team and show you real quick. This is showing you how to know how to solve your problems. So right here, just go to add a Pokemon, just type in Rock Slide here. And you can see, if we go down to Rock Slide, we can see the mons that commonly use Rock Slide. And so, well, not commonly, these are all the mons that use Rock Slide in alphabetical order. And what you can do is basically just sort it by attack or sort it by speed. or even sort it by things that stab Rock Slide and make sure that they're also Rock type. So things that are Rock type that also use Rock Slide. Now we're getting a little bit more realistic. So things like Lycanroc, things like Dreadnought, things like Tyranitar. So you're starting to see these are how you can actually solve your problems if you don't know how. You want to be thinking of what moves are you actually weak against, what mons use those moves. For example, Fire. The most common Fire move in the meta is Heat Wave. I would say the most common Heat Wave used in the meta is probably going to be Hydreigon on Tera Fire Hydreigon. So it's not that you need to stop Fire, you need to stop Hydreigon. It's not that you need to stop Rock Slide, you need to stop like the 3 Rock Slide users. Start thinking about that. Realistically, there's one Pokemon that stops both those we can add in this team. But let's go back to the team builder. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. And let's start thinking of what mons we want to save. I will tell you right now, we're cutting most of these mons if you want this team to work. There's nothing that I could actually do to keep these 6. There's 0 defensive switch-ins, there's 0 forms of dynamic speed control, there's 0 forms of redirection, there's 0 turn 1 pressure, and yes, there's 1 mon over base 100 speed in the Frostlass, but it doesn't have protect, it doesn't really have the ability to pivot or switch or do like anything other than just like herp derp attack stuff. Yes, it can Aurora Veil, but like if your whole team shares the same weaknesses, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna have a weakness of something. So I think we have to cut most of these. I think we know that we're gonna cut back Excalibur. I think there's just better options. I think we're gonna cut the Houndoom. There are definitely better options. These guys are the ones that might get to stay, but let's just take a look at the team builder and see what happens when we cut back Excalibur. So cut back Excalibur and we cut the Houndoom. And we already getting a little bit better. Like we're already getting like this is almost doable now. I think realistically you can cut a couple more as well. I think that I like Glaceon, but there are better options. And I think Satitan is cool. And if you want to use Satitan, I would highly recommend using the Hail team that I made with Satitan. The rental code's up on Patreon right now. Think about using that team. If you're looking for like a Hail core mixed with some other stuff, that's an amazing team. I think it's probably the best team I made for Scarlet and Violet so far. Think about checking out that rental. It's up on Patreon right now. So if you want to use Satitan and Abomasnow, that team's already there. You should just use that one in my opinion. So we can just cut Satitan here, unfortunately, even though it's a cool set. Frostlass, we'll see how long Frostlass can stay. We'll see how long. So let's make these last little cuts, cut out the Glaceon, and cut out the Satitan, and see what our board looks like. That is so much more manageable. We can make this work. Let's talk about adding a Pokemon, though, that might be able to cover up. So we still have 2 weaknesses to Fire, so we need something that can switch on Fire moves. We have 2 weaknesses to Rock, so we need a mon that's good against Rock, good against Fire, and good against Steel, that can switch in on all 3 of those and have super effective moves against the Pokemon that use those type of attacks. Now, Fire, Rock, and Steel all share 1 weakness in common. What is it? It's Ground. So you may be thinking I'm just some standard Garchomp stand guy, but Garchomp is the Pokemon that you add in this situation. By adding Garchomp to this team, what we're able to do is add resistances and aggressive tendencies here. So add the Garchomp, you can see it covers up perfectly. Like Garchomp, yes, it doesn't resist Steel, but it's very, very bulky. We might even be able to Tera into a different type, but it's super effective against the things that use Steel attacks. So that's the reason why it's really, really good. I think Garchomp is the perfect mon for this team. And the next thing I want to talk about, I understand that a lot of people like Blizzard. They're probably like, I wanted a Hail team because I like using Blizzard. I like using Blizzard with as many Pokemon as possible. Well, what if I were to tell you that like you can totally use Blizzard, but it doesn't have to be with a Pokemon that's an Ice type. Like there's a lot of mons that just get Blizzard. So like what we can do is just type in Blizzard, and we don't have to use an Ice type. We can sort it by special attack as well, and see some really good mons like Goodra. I was kind of thinking Goodra that gets Blizzard. Like Dragonite gets Blizzard. Hell, Pelipper, Tyranitar, like Gastrodon gets Blizzard. I think Gastrodon's probably like way better. We should probably go Gastrodon. That sounds like a good one. Gastrodon sounds great. Goodra sounds great. We don't want to double dip. I think Gastrodon's probably the better option in this situation. We can go Gastro here. I think Gastro is definitely worth looking at if we take a look at Gastro and add it to the team builder here. Gastro does a few things and also has the Storm Drain ability, so we can make Gastrodon into like a Tera Fire to be able to also have like fire coverage for the team, so that's good against those Steels again. And also our Storm Drain protects us from those water attacks. So adding Gastro, you see how the team's fleshing it out a little bit more. I think there's 2 mons left. There's 1 mon that I know we want to run, but the next slot that we really need is something like dynamic speed control. Like we really need something that can come in and say like, hey, I'm going you have to deal with it. And I think realistically, I think Talonflame is a good mon on this team, and we'll talk about why in just a sec. But Talonflame, basically, it's faster than Murkrow. We're starting to get a little bit weak in the rocks department. You're starting to see like this Frostlass might be holding us back just a little bit. But yeah, Talonflame is really, really good. It has a faster Tailwind than Murkrow, so Murkrow and other Prankster users can't taunt it if you want to go for Gale Wings boosted Tailwinds. And also, the things that check the team, like those Steel types, like Talonflame has fire coverage for those Steel types, and I really, really think Talonflame fits very well here. Now, what if I were to tell you we could take out this Frostlass, Frostlass is cool. It is cool, but it doesn't have enough damage to actually get stuff done, in my opinion. If we were to take out this Frostlass, it would open up our Sash Bees on a different slot, and we could technically put a Pokemon like Rotom here. And everyone's like, you use Rotom Wash in every game. We're not using Rotom Wash. We're using Rotom Frost. You're starting to see how this is going to start work together. So we have the addition of adding another Blizzard user. This is probably the best Blizzard user in the game is Rotom Frost, in my opinion. And we can also discharge next to Garchomp and Gastrodon. It's so, so, so good. I love this sort of tech. I think this is absolutely amazing. And it just feels good. It just feels good. It feels right. Let's see what happens when we switch out the Frostlass for a Rotom Frost. Frostlass, Rotom Frost. With the Levitate. So you're starting to see we're adding abilities too that mitigate specific types, so we can actually stack weaknesses to ground, we can stack weaknesses to water, and get away with it in these situations. So we still have 3 weaknesses to rocks, but let's think about what uses those rock type attacks. Things like Tyranitar, we have Garchomp. Things like Lycanroc, we have Garchomp. Things like Tyranitar and Lycanroc, we have Gastrodon. Like, we have good Pokemon to switch in, soak that damage, and repin those mons, which is what this team is severely lacking. I think the last thing that this team really needs, we have dynamic speed control, we have good physical attackers, we have good special attackers. I think we might want one more physical mon, and we definitely need something with dark coverage, I would say. This is where something like a King Gambit could definitely work, but I don't want to stack any more weaknesses to fire. So we don't necessarily need a steel type, but let's take a look at dark types and see if there's anything that we can actually add. So dark right here. So dark types. Are there any dark types that fit really, really well in this team? Are we going to add the Houndoom back? No, it's too much rock sweetness. Hydreigon could add a second. Ice weakness. I don't know how I feel about that. Meowscarada. Meowscarada is actually okay here. How do I feel about that? What if we actually added something like this? What if we were to go like Slowking? How would that change how this team looks on paper? I'm curious. Slowking might actually be really good. And the reason why it's Slowking is because most of the moves in the meta are special right now. Slowking makes it so we also have... This is the wrong Slowking. There we go. Slowking makes it so we also have better coverage versus rock mons because like a water type and stuff like that. So this is pretty good. You don't want to use water moves though. We're going to use a different set. I think Slowking is actually a pretty cool mon to add to this team. And I think a lot of you guys might see where this is going. But I think Slowking could definitely work here. This means we might not need the Gastrodon, but I think Slowking's great. We're definitely going to want the Regenerator. I think the Chilling Reception is what I would use on this guy. I would go something like Chilling Reception, Trick Room, and Imprison. That's what I would do. I would use this as an Imprison mon for this team, and Chilling Reception just to be able to repivot. This makes it so we can fight other weather users. You're probably not going to be bringing Slowking all that often, but it's a really, really cool way to do it, and I would actually like to use this rental. Like this, people have been asking me for so long, how would you play Chilling Reception Slowking? Like, this is how you play it. This very, very niche way. We'll make the last move like something weird. But like for any additional coverage that we might need, might even be like Terra Blast or something. But I think now we can start fleshing out the team. We definitely can put our Sash back over here. I think Sash with the Vomit is going to be super, super amazing. Note that we don't have to do our EVs yet. We don't have to do anything else. We're just kind of fleshing out things that we know we're going to want. Giga Drain's going to be the better option here to be able to regain our Sash. We happen to take chip damage from like Fake Out or Sandstorm. It's not that much weaker, and it's just as good. It's how you actually win those later game stall matchups. Rotom, I'm going to tell you right now, we're probably going to want to Choice Scarf this thing. Choice Scarf Rotom Frost is magnifique. Very, very good Pokemon. Garchomp. I don't know exactly what I want to do with the Garchomp, so I'm going to leave it blank. This guy's going to have the leftovers, probably. And Talonflame. Talonflame can hold like 3 or 4 different items. I think Covert Cloak is a good one though, because it says you can't fake out it. So like if your plan to stop Talonflame is just fake out it, like you lose. And we're definitely gonna want to go Gale Wings. And as for the Slowking, the way this is gonna work is like Chilly Reception plus Regenerator. We can basically use this thing as a pivot and like a slow way to play Hail. So like if we know that we want to bring in our Abomasnow safely, we can, or any of these mons safely, we can just lead Slowking next to something and play a really passive lead from like Yawns. Garchomp can go for some more stuff. We might actually be using a Swords Dance set on this Garchomp today. Yeah, I think something like that could work. What's the last move that we would really want? Is there anything that we want to imprison that Slowking can get? I mean, Icy Wind is the play. We could just put Blizzard on it. Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, Blizzard. Bro, that's sick. Like, that's cool, you know? Just big Blizzard energy. Like, Blizzard here. Probably gonna want the Blizzard over here. Like, isn't this way cooler? I think this is so much cooler. Slowking, maybe not Blizzard. It's cool. It's cool, but I don't know how I feel about it, man. Because, like, we're not gonna have the Abomasnow on the board yet. Well, let's sort it by special and see what it has. Because I was thinking, like, Icy Wind also. And for everyone thinking, like, what's Trick Room there for? This isn't a Trick Room team. This is how we stop Trick Room teams, is imprisoning them. Let's go with special. And so these are all the moves that we get that are special. There's nothing wrong with Psychic, and being able to imprison Psychic's also kind of nice. I think Psychic's the right play because of Annihilate. Annihilates are technically popular enough right now, and yeah, I think this is enough of a reason. So Psychic, good, perfect. Let's start fleshing out the rest of these moves. So a Scarf Rotom would look something like Volt Switch. It would look something like Blizzard down here. It would look something like Discharge and probably Thunderbolt. You could also Trick. So you could put Trick here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Trick. Trick is a really, really good move. And you could just go Volt Switch and Discharge. And basically you just lock yourself into one. If you're pairing next to Abomasnow, you have to use Discharge, Protect. These are ground types they can protect. Talonflame might be able to protect. Slowking can't protect, but like you can just hard switch into something else or soak the damage, get a Regenerator proc when you switch out next turn. So this is a good set. Garchomp, we know we want to protect here. I kind of want to use a Scarf Chomp set. Not Scarf, a Swords Dance Chomp. I think that Swords Dance on Chomp here could be really, really good if used correctly. I also kind of want to try like a unique take on Tera. Like something like, not like a Steel Chomp, but like some sort of weird Tera Blast Chomp. They can give us a little bit more coverage. I don't think there's a problem. Like, what if we went Ice Chomp? That'd be funny, you know? Let's plug the Life Orb in here and just go standard. Like Earthquake, Earth Power. You know, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Rock Slide. There's nothing wrong with like a standard Chomp on this team. And I think Chomp's one of those mons can come every game, but it doesn't have to be the carry. I think you're going to be carrying a lot more with Rotom and Abomasnow. Gastrodon. We're going to want Protect Yawn. That's the basically way this Pokemon works. And then the Earth Power. You don't need a Water attack on this guy. Talonflame, we know we want Protect because we talked about it. You should always try and put Protect on your Tailwind users too. So the last turn of your Tailwind, you can pop a Protect to be able to safely reapply it after your speed control's gone. Because Talonflame's still going to be outspeeding things. So you want Protect, you want the Tailwind. And this is where I think if it was me playing this team, I'd go with like, I wouldn't use the Covert Cloak maybe. I might think about using like an Eject Pack special Overheat set with like Will-O-Wisp and U-Turn. But I don't think that you need that. I think that realistically, like, yes, this makes us lose our Gale Wings boost, but like, it's really, really important to get these first big turns off, and I just think there's nothing really wrong with this. You could also put the Life Orb on this guy and make it really aggressive if you want, but there's nothing wrong with this set. This is the coverage we need for Gholdangos. This is the coverage we need for a Moongus. This pairs really well with Garchomp. Easy peasy. The Slowking, I don't really know what we want to put here. Covert Cloak could also be put on the Slowking, like most definitely. I think we're just going to make it Flying Tera, and because we're going to make it Flying Tera, I actually think you don't really need to put a Mental Herb here. Let's see, what do we want to put here exactly? We don't need additional damage. Like, there's nothing wrong with Citrus in this situation to stop them from doubling up into the slot. Citrus with like our Generator is also pretty nice. And now that we got all of our moves done, we haven't even really started looking at EVs yet. We can start looking at Teras. This thing's definitely going to need to go Ghost Tera. And the reason we would go Ghost Tera is so we can avoid Fake Outs, and so we can avoid E-Speeds from things like Arcanine and Dragonite. It's really, really good. Same thing goes for the Rotom. Ghost Tera is going to be absolutely amazing on this guy for those exact same reasons. And it really tunnels your opponent in a very specific playstyle. And we bait those mons to come because they're so good versus our team because we don't have any ghosts. So they're going to see they have no ghosts and immediately lock those mons in if they have them in their team previews. And this is how we beat them. Garchomp, we want to go Ground Tera, so we can get the double dip on our Earthquake. Gastrodon, this is a little bit weird. You can go whatever Tera you realistically feel is right, but I think you get more value off of going some sort of weird defensive Tera that has a weakness to water because we have the Storm Drain, right? So you can go something like Fire. You don't need to go something like Rock. You can go Fire. Usually people just go Fire. Grass is also another one that I've seen. I think Grass is probably a better idea because this also lets us avoid Rage Powder from Mungus and avoid Spores from Mungus. So I think Grass is probably the best one, but you're probably not going to be tearing that often. Talonflame, I think realistically we want to go Flying here. We have the Cobra Coat to block Fake Outs, and yes, they can still E-speed us, but we actually want Flying, so we can still be paired with Garchomp. We can double dip to gain that Flying Tera and go for huge Brave Birds on turn 1 boosted by Gale Wings. Really, really cool stuff. And then Slowking, Dark Tera is probably what we're going to want here to stop taunts from Prankster Mons. So that is that. Let's start doing our IVs and EVs and stuff. With a Rotom that's Scarfed, you only really need to get to a specific speed tier, so let's plug in Rotom Frost. You need to outspeed Dragapult. You can do this, you can see what mons you need to outspeed, I've said this before, by going to the Pokemon list, sorting it by speed, seeing what's popular, also comparing that with like the use of like your notes and stuff like that, your usage stats, and you can see that Dragapult's the most common popular mon. If we outspeed Dragapult, we by proxy outspeed everything else. So outspeeding Dragapult's what we need to do. That's a 142 base speed mon. So Dragapult over here. And, you know, you could outspeed Dragapult by going like 2v2 speed timid and 2v2 special attack, like easy peasy. But what I'm going to tell you is you don't need to go, it's wasting points to go full speed. You don't need to be full speed on a Scarf set. So you can see if we take this Dragapult here and go 252, Jolly and Timid are both really, really good. Basically just a plus speed nature on Dragapult. 213, so we need to get to 214. We're going to give ourselves a +1 from our Choice Scarf. And then from there, if you see if we go 252, we still don't actually outspeed. We need to go for a Timid nature still. But we don't need to be 226. See, it's wasting about 70 points. So we can take a lot of these points out. And remember that every 8 gives you an extra EV. So we just need to get to 214. So I've said this before in other team building guides. This is a super important calc tab for Rotom. 188. If you're trying to outspeed people that have been watching my team building guides and other people, you can even go up to 216 here and outspeed that even further by 196. But all you need is 188. So it depends on how much speed creeping you actually want to do. 188 plus we can still go 2v2 special attack, and then normally you'd want to go with like a 4-4 spread in each defense with the rest in HP, but because Rotom has such a low base HP, it's actually just better to go 68 in HP in pretty much every situation. Rotom has great defenses, and so you want to max out that really low base HP stat, and this is a lot bulkier Rotom than you would normally have. It's technically as fast as you would have it, and it's just as strong, so it's all you're getting extra out of here is just a ton more bulk for no extra cost. So it's a really, really good set. Garchomp, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with clicking the button here, except for I would personally put the last 4 in defense. And I would actually think about maybe even taking out some of this and putting in other defenses, but like there's nothing wrong with clicking the button on this Garchomp here. We want this Garchomp to function as fast as it can, as strong as it can. It's a sweeper, that's what it does. So there's nothing wrong with this. Gastrodon here. Now, if you were to go 2v2 HP here, you'd get diminishing returns on your defense stat. You get diminishing returns when your HP stat is more than double your respective defense stat, and basically, it's just ineffective to continually bloat a bloated HP stat. So it's not like terrible to do that, but you don't need to go 252. Usually, I like to say about 204 on my Gastrodons, and then probably about like 100 in here. That's still getting diminishing returns, so like let's actually put it up just a little bit to 206, right? Here we go. So 140 there. Make sure it's the right number. Yeah. So this way, this would double into 212, which means it's effectively utilizing all of our EVs. Basically, every single 8 that I'd be putting in defense, we'd be having to put like 16 or 24 into HP to get the same amount of damage mitigation. So it's not worth just bloating an already bloated stat. We still have a bunch of extra stats here too. I think there's nothing wrong with like a 156 in Spadef here. 156 doesn't get you any diminishing, doesn't waste any stats, right? And then we still have 8 points, and so what you want to do is just cut those up here. We don't need to make this Gastrodon 0 speed to be reduced. I don't think so. I actually think you want to try and bully other Gastrodons. We have an Imprisoned Mon to Imprisoned Trick Room. We don't need to be 0 speed here. So we actually want to make sure that we do outspeed other Gastrodons. And then in this case, what you want to do is just take and put your nature in your highest stat because you get a 10% boost. So like a 10% boost to 122 would make us go from 122 to 134, so that's 12, which is more points than something like putting it right here. So 106 to 116, so that's 10. So 12 points are better than 10 points. So usually put your natures in whatever your highest stat might be. Usually, you know, the only other situation where that's not really applicable is when you need to hit a very specific speed tier. But more often than not, when you're building, you want to be putting your natures in your highest stat if you can, because you just get more EVs for it. You get more points. Talonflame is pretty easy. You can also just click the button on this guy. I think that Talonflame kind of needs to be full speed because of one Pokemon, and that's Meowscarada. Meowscarada hits a 123, so if we show like Talonflame here, we show Talonflame, we show Meowscarada. This is now another good time. If you're still watching this video, let me leave a like, man. Leave a like. Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know if you like these sort of videos where I go over like learning how to EV train and talk about stuff like that. So you can see Meowscarada is a 123 base speed. Let's just set it to a Jolly, which is what it would be. And it gets to 192. So Talonflame, though, is 126. It's a little bit faster. And this is one of those situations where if we're Jolly, we already outspeed it by 3 points. And so you might be saying, that's a way I could just take these points out and go to 193. So this is going to stop. This is going to make you speed type Pokemon that are in their Tailwinds boosted to outspeed Talonflame. Or, sorry, outspeed Meowscarada. So what you're doing is speed tying people who are trying to outspeed Meowscarada. So we want to actually outspeed those guys. And at that point, if we're going to be going with a 244, we might as well just go 252 Jolly to make sure we're not getting outspeed by other Talonflames, because it is kind of popular. I would say it's gaining more popularity by the day. I'm looking at the usage stats here, and I'm not really seeing it. It has a 5% usage rate, which I think it's going to be about 10 by the end of the month. So I think it's the right idea to just go 2v2 in that situation. And then it doesn't really matter where you put the rest of the points. It's you could put more points in bulk if you want, but we want to hit hard, so it makes sense to do it like this. And you don't want to put points in HP because we're going to be using moves that take our HP. So just put them in a respective defense stat. I think special defense is usually a better stat to max on this team, just because you know, special defense. Well, it depends what you're weak against, right? Talonflame's weak against like electric attacks, things like Thunderbolt, things like Hydro Pumps, things like you know, stuff like that. But also it wants to pivot in on things like hyper voices. Those are all special attacks, so it's better to just put the last point in special defense. Again, it's going back to the type chart. Think about what type of attacks these types are tied to, and then what mons use them. Last mon is going to be Slowking. Slowking, you definitely want to max out that HP stat. And I think realistically, we don't have any Intimidators, we don't have any Aurora Veils, but we don't really need them. I think, again, Slowking is weak against things like Dark, it's weak against things like Ghost, weak against things like Electric and Grass. Those are predominantly all special attacks, and we have a big SpDef stat. I don't think there's a problem with almost maxing out the SpDef stat, but I will say you want to put 60 points in defense. We're going to talk about why that is. I'm going to try my best to show an example right now on the fly here. Now, 60 is a guess. It's a guess. There's not like an actual calc that I know for 60, but I'm going to show you how 60 works here. So let's plug in Slowking. So Slowking right here. Set it to 50, of course. And let's plug in King Gambit. Now, I will tell you I've not done that many King Gambit sets, but I'm pretty sure this is going to show my example pretty well. Set it to 50. So let's just give it like 252. And let's give it Quarto Cleave. If I can spell that. All right, Kauto Cleave or whatever. Okay. So it does a lot, right? If we go to, it KOs us. If we go full HP though, we still could die. 31% chance. Now, this is the thing. Putting 60 points into a respective stat in any defense is going to throw off your opponent's calcs by about 5%. And so you can see if we go like this, there's no way that that can KO us if they're not like adamant. So if they could still be adamant and they could still get the KO, I think it's probably about a 50% shot for them to get the KO. 37. So, you know, they still have shots if they're adamant. And you could say, if you really wanted to, put even more points out there to make so that an adamant one would never get the KO. That would look something like probably about 144. Maybe a little bit less. So that would look something like 132 to make sure we never would get KO'd. And if that's a set you want to run, go for it. I don't think you need to. I think 60 definitely works. And so that throws off their calcs from a, let's take this adamant off here. It throws off their calcs from a 104 all the way down to a 98. And that's a lot of, that's 6%. That's over 5%. So being able to throw off your opponent's calcs by about 5 to 6%, that's huge. So most VGC players are doing calcs for these sort of things, and being able to mess with their numbers by about 5%, that's the things that let like my teams win. So when you watch me play and all my teams seem to live through random stuff, and everyone's like, wow, those are so good EV spreads, like, How do those EVs work? Well, it's stuff like this. You can usually get away with going 60, and if you need more, put more. If you need less, take less, but 60 is usually the entry point, and then from there, think if you need more or less. And then the cool thing about this is we can just throw the rest in SPDEF. I actually think you still need to be speed reduced on this guy, unfortunately, just so, you know, you can't... Actually, we don't need to be speed reduced. We're going to actually have 4 in here, because this thing speed ties Amoonguss, and we want to be able to just psychic that thing, right? So we're going to go with a 4-4, and then 188. And so we're not wasting any points here, and this lets us outspeed base 30s be a bully versus them, and not even need to trick them at all. We're keeping all of our Ivies, so this team is also easier to get in-game. It doesn't use that many unique Teras. I mean, it kind of does. But it doesn't use, like, speed-reduced, zero-speed Mons. Like, we're keeping everything basically as they should be used. Another thing people ask about is, do I need 0 Ivies in in attack on these Mons? The reason why Showdown does this automatically if you're a special attacker, but foul play does more damage to you the higher your attack IVs are, and when you hit yourself with confusion, it does more damage to you. So I would say only on Mons that have weaknesses to foul play that you need that. So on Ghost or Psychic types, it's pretty recommended to have that 0, but it's definitely not something that I would require for the use of just playing on the ladder, but that's just how I would do it. And so this Slowking's going to be super good special defense. It has more than enough defense to actually work and throw off our opponent's calcs. And overall, I think this is just a much better team. We take a look back at the type chart. Yes, Rocks still are good against Abomasnow, Rotom, and Gastrodon, but like, if Rock's good, I can go lead Rotom, lead anything else. I can pivot out. Like I can hard switch in my Abomasnow, Volt switch, pivot out, bring in something weird, take away their sand by pivoting the Abomasnow, bring in Garchomp, then repin, and then they don't have their weather anymore. Like, there's so many cool things you can do. This team has better speed control. It has better board coverage. It has better offensive and defensive coverage, and I really like the changes that we made. I want to make sure that the team works here. Validate. Looks like it is valid. So, pretty cool team. If you guys like this and you want me to fix your teams, you can think about checking out the team submission post linked on my Patreon, as well as all my rental teams, all my write-ups. I've been making Patreon content for 6 or 7 years. There's literally hundreds of teams for so many different gens. Like, if there's a Mon you want to use, I've probably used it before on some team. You can just scroll through that for days until you can get inspiration from some of those older teams, see some older EV spreads, and see if you can make those spreads work in your own game. So if that's something you like, let me know. I also want you guys to have an absolute Merry Christmas. You guys have been watching this video for a really, really long time, so it's about time to go see your families if that's what you want to do, or you can just watch another video. That also works. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.